almost feel like the smartest man in the world. I know, we're just going to temper my ego here for a second, but I've been talking about how the streaming service bubble is about to burst. I got more on it over the weekend as well, and a little bit more, okay, because of everything that's going on lately with a bunch of different, oh yeah, we can also have a streaming service, and then it falls fucking flat on its face, and oh, we can try to resuscitate a bunch of people that were popular like 20 years ago, because Hollywood and the greater entertainment industry can't create their own fucking stars, or when they try to pluck them out of the YouTube or the social media realm, they always just fall fucking flat, because most of those people aren't terribly interesting, at least the ones that they try to pull, okay? The positivity and happiness people that they always pull are as fake as their fucking appearance and their name on social media themselves. So when you try to bring somebody back who was just, I was never a fan of Jon Stewart, okay? I didn't watch The Daily Show. I didn't find it terribly fucking interesting to begin with. I always just thought that he was just kind of a Democrat shill, and if you really needed that distilled into one fucking show, all you needed to do is just watch literally anything that was on television at the time, and you would have got the exact same thing. But whatever, I knew a lot of people fucking found it interesting, and he unfortunately created a lot of careers off of the back of the success of The Daily Show. Can't downplay that. And then when he left and retired to go do nothing or whatever, Trevor Noah, who is probably the least funny human being I've ever seen in my entire life, who tries to pass himself off as a comedian, he just showed that, yeah, I guess the supposed charisma of Jon Stewart was what was carrying that show, and not the name The Daily Show, okay? So Apple TV, trying to make their own way in the streaming market, decided to give Jon Stewart a streaming show, okay, which would just basically be knockoff Tonight Show, thinking that, oh yeah, no, he's just going to be the same ratings grab that he was before. Well, during the interim, while he was off, it looks like he was delving a little bit too deep into the CRT library by just reading every fucking book by Ibram X. Kendi and bell hooks, and really doubling down on woke policies. And unfortunately for him, it's fucking failed spectacularly. Jon Stewart's Apple TV show, I think it's called The Problem with Jon Stewart. Get it? There's a problem with Jon. We know, it's fucking clever. Is reported flop with just 40,000 viewers. 40,000 viewers for somebody who used to pull in even millions on cable television, okay? Even on Comedy Central. That's fucking sad, dude. The Problem with Jon Stewart, Stewart's new Apple television show, is a humiliating flop with only 40,000 viewers, reports by Bloomberg. If you want to know why Jon Stewart looked so desperate and mercenary a few weeks back when he ambushed Andrew Sullivan as a racist, here's the reason why. His Apple TV Plus show, The Problem with Jon Stewart, which debuted in September, has failed to gain traction in its first season and lags far behind its competitors on broadcast and cable television. Yeah, because those are numbers that even CNN can trumpet about beating. Last fall, about 180,000 U.S. homes saw the first episode within the first 7 days, according to the measurement firm Samba TV, which doesn't tell the entire story, but it's a pretty good representation, and that's pretty dog shit, okay? By the fifth episode, which aired in early March, how fucking infrequently does he do this goddamn show? About 40,000 U.S. homes tuned in, down 78% from the season premiere. By comparison, an episode on March's HBO Last Week Tonight with John Oliver was seen by 844,000 U.S. homes, Samba TV says. And that's not exactly like an upgrade or anything like that. And I think that snaggletooth limey fuck probably has even less of a reputable reputation than Jon Stewart. I don't know what to say, really. How bad is that? How bad is 40,000 viewers? Well, Apple TV reportedly has 20 million subscribers, and only 40,000 are bothering to watch. Somebody who used to appeal to a lot of people, but now is just a walking example of get woke, go broke. It's hilarious. Why would people watch Stewart when they never really did? Despite a second-to-none gaslighting campaign that tried to hide the fact that Jon Stewart was never a superstar, never popular with the American public, his ratings always sucked. What he had going for him was his uninhibited love of corporate media that saturated their own networks with clips and Stewart annihilating Republicans. Yeah, he did exactly what Ben Shapiro does right now. He takes on just these fucking brainlet leftists and destroys them with facts and logic, that has a very short shelf life, okay? And then when you see it playing out on the other side, it's like, how long was The Daily Show around for anyways? Like, his run on the show was popular, okay? Like, people knew about it. And I'm sure he'd love those ratings right now. It's just, you're on streaming service, okay? And we're in this weird intermediary period of people continuing to switch off from cable television, but then at the same time, the people who are consistently watching these scripted television shows, okay, they're all aging out. And if you're looking for long form news content like that, that's properly structured like a cable news show, you're just watching CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. You're not trying to search online. You're not trying to escape the echo chamber that is the black box to watch television, okay? 22 or 48-minute increments. That just doesn't compute and as the numbers show, really. But if that's not a bad enough example, if somebody who was sitting on the sidelines, who was reportedly popular, okay, at least within the cable news sphere, we have another example of a catastrophic failure of not being able to capitalize or really actually just assess the room, because just 23 days after launching, and we talked about this last weekend, and it's like 10,000 people signed up for this fucking disaster, which you could lock in for the low price of $10 a month if you would have signed up for a 3-year commitment. Well, it looks like you're not even going to get, well, you're just barely got 3 weeks. Because Warner Brothers Disney, who was merging up at the top, and you know what they care about? Performance, not ideology, which sucks, especially for CNN, because CNN Plus, it's getting axed. It looks like those cooking shows, and Chris Wallace wasn't that much of a fucking ratings draw to begin with. You hate to see it. Should have hired Jon Stewart. He could have quadrupled your viewership. Warner Brothers Discovery will reportedly shut down CNN Plus 23 days after announcing the streaming service. Warner Brothers Discovery will nix the streaming service on April 30th, just after CNN service reportedly had 10,000, sorry, I don't want to oversell it, daily views. According to reports, the move comes after CNN was acquired by its parent company Variety. Yeah, you hate to see it. Spokesperson for CNN and Warner Brothers Discovery could not be reached for immediate comment because they're too busy fucking cleaning out people's offices. You hate to see it. Chris Litch, the incoming CEO of CNN, sent a memo to staffers Thursday morning about the important meeting to be held at noon, which time it is expected to inform employees about the decision. The people said Litch has already told Andrew Morse, the CNN executive vice president who oversees the newly launched streaming video outlet, of the decision. These people said Morse could not be reached for immediate comment. Yeah, because he's getting all of the Kleenex boxes ready. All the tears. Oh, terrible. CNN Plus has been stricken with reports that many employees would be laid off in the coming weeks. Yeah, that was just as recently as last fucking week. On March 29th, CNN introduced CNN Plus, which combines live news coverage, on-demand programming, and interactive interviews. All of that does seem great, but you're also promoting a product which has a shelf life, okay? Like, outside of just Hallmark events, nobody's going back and watching last Thursday's episode of Don Lemon, okay? Nobody's going back into the archives and seeing old footage of just, I don't know, DNC primary coverage from June of 2015. It's going to be really time sensitive, and yeah, you have a vast back catalog that nobody really cares about. And live news coverage, if your entire network, okay, your core product is just being replicated on a less available, okay, less popular service, the fuck are you doing? Like, I know some big YouTube channels that run podcasts also have a clips channel, but they don't run 2 simultaneous podcasts at the same time on competing channels. It makes no fucking sense. And yeah, it just goes to show you, and this is why it is analogous. There we go. With Jon Stewart being a flop, okay? 20 million subscribers, and you could only convince 40,000 people to tune in. That's interesting. But CNN, remember, they had exclusive content from Chris Wallace and Jake Tapper, Don Lemon, Anderson Cooper, and then they hired that other broad to do a cooking show, and all of that was supposed to just bring in all of the people. giving you shit that you can find on YouTube and literally everywhere else, including on CNN's fucking cable news channel. What the fuck were you hoping to accomplish with this? And it failed maybe not as quickly as everybody anticipated it, okay? We all seen this was going to be a disaster, and sure, they had a lot of fucking money behind it, but nobody CNN was on a downward trajectory, okay? If it wasn't for the fact that, you had Jeff Zucker, who jumped off the ship. Okay, Chris Cuomo being thrown off the ship. Viewers leaving because Orange Man was no longer there and he's no longer relevant, at least for the news cycle. And all you had left was just the news and your banal personalities. So now's a good time to strike while the iron is ice fucking cold. And yeah, I have a much more in-depth discussion over the weekend as well when it comes to streaming service bubbles being burst. And Netflix right now, ooh, buddy, it looks like that's coming out. And what they have found there, well, we'll just give you a little bit of the headlines here. Stock creators, 200,000 subscribers lost, predict losing 2 million more this year. I don't want to spoil anything that I already have recovered, but exactly, like I said, it's almost like I can see into the future. And you know who's having a laugh at this as well? Well, Elon Musk. Netflix stock tanks after Elon Musk says woke mind virus makes it unwatchable. But hey, you know what? Elon Musk has been in the news headlines lately for other reasons, and we might as well touch back up on this with the next video. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.